What is up, Blasianeers and Blasianettes? I'm going to be giving you guys my quick review for Solo, a Star Wars story. And this is going to be spoiler free. Do not worry, I'm not going to have spoilers in this video. So you guys are safe from spoilers. So yeah, basically the premise of the movie is where we get to see the humble beginnings of Han Solo stepping towards the man we all know he's going to become. And when they announced this, back when they announced it, I have to admit, I thought it's a pretty random idea, but also it sounds like it has potential to be, a good movie. It sounds like a nice idea for a movie. Excuse me. And when they showed the trailers, I thought, okay, this looks like it could be entertaining. And as it got closer to its release date, I thought to myself, am I really excited for a movie? Am I hyped up? Is the hype there? Honestly, it wasn't. I mean, like, all that I had for this movie is a curiosity and an open mind. So I was going to go see this regardless. And, but, I mean, yeah, I mean, like, it didn't really get me itching for the release date. Like, May 25th can't get here fast enough. I need this movie right now. I mean, that's not how I felt prior to seeing the movie. I just felt like, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna check it out when it gets here and see how it turns out. And yeah, I gotta say that one of my favorite parts of the movie is when Han Solo meets Chewbacca for the first time. I mean, I liked how that was done. I mean, like, I loved it. I mean, and I loved every time that they shared this, they shared the screen together, and like almost through this entire movie they shared the screen together because it's Han and Chewie. I mean, come on, you can't really keep them apart for very long. But and I think for those who enjoyed that dynamic in the Star Wars trilogy, I think you guys will be satisfied with how it's handled in this movie. And the actor who played Han Solo, I wasn't quite sure if he would be the most obvious or the perfect fit for a younger Han Solo because we're so used to Harrison Ford playing the character. But seeing him in this movie, he did slightly better than I thought he was going to. I mean, he had big shoes to fill, and he fit into them pretty nicely. And he did a good job channeling Harrison Ford's portrayal, like of Han Solo, where I'm like, yeah, I do feel a Han Solo presence, like like do like maybe 70% of the movie. And with Lando, I mean, like he is like extra frosting on the cake. He like lights up the screen every time that he is, like every time he walks into a scene. And when they announced that Donald Glover was playing that character, I thought perfect. And if anything, he probably surpassed my expectations or my image of how he was going to play this character. I mean, like, it's just perfect. I mean, he fits those shoes like a glove. I mean, it's just perfect. Glad tidings and everything. And those were my favorite parts of the movie. It's of, like the Han and Chewie dynamic and with Lando. I mean, like, those were my favorite parts of the movie. But, however, with everything else going on, I mean, like, with a lot of the supporting characters, I really didn't really care that much about. But I mean, there's a few that I did like, but unfortunately, Woody Harrelson's character, I was not attached to him. I didn't really invest that much into him. I knew what his mission was in the movie and all that. I mean, I got it, but I wasn't like I didn't find myself getting attached to his character. And, but I mean, there are a couple characters in the movie that I did like Emilia Clarke's character. I thought was pretty good, and Paul Bettany's character was pretty good too. But everything else, I didn't really care that much for. And the pacing in this movie is really poor. I mean, like it just a lot of these scenes drag on and on and on. I'm like, what? I mean, like, can it just move a little bit quicker? I mean, it's a 2 hour and 15-minute movie, and it felt longer because of that, because of the pacing. I mean, take for example Avengers: Infinity War, and that movie is a bit longer than this movie. It's about like maybe over 10 minutes longer than this movie, and it didn't feel long at all. I mean, it felt like it was a much shorter movie because of the pacing. It slowed down when it needed to, and it basically picked up when it needed to. But here, it didn't know how to pick up. I mean, it really needed to. It just kept going on and on and on longer than it needed to. But still, it was still a decent, like movie experience. I mean, it does a good job, not relying on the fact that it's in the Star Wars universe, like where it doesn't focus on the war between the Jedi and the dark side of the Force. I mean, it just focuses on Han Solo's journey and how he meets, Chewie and Lando and yeah. So I'd say this movie does a good job of like moving away from the Jedi and the dark side as almost like even better than how Rogue One did. I mean, I understood why it had a little bit of sprinkling of that element in like in that movie, but here, I mean, you get to a breath of fresh air and just be in a whole another territory. But yeah, with that all being said, this movie gets I gotta say 3 chair spins out of 5. So here we go. 1, 2, 3 chair spins. And if it wasn't for the performance of of the actor who played Han Solo and Donald Glover, and the dynamic with Chewie, I mean, it probably would have gotten a much lower rating. And if the pacing was a bit quicker, it would have gotten a bit of a higher rating. I mean, I don't regret seeing the movie. I mean, I certainly don't hate it. I mean, like, it could have been much worse, but at the same time, I feel like it could have been handled a bit better, like with the pacing, and making a lot of the supporting characters a bit more interesting. I mean, I don't mind them being different and all that, but I mean, I just feel like they could have been written better. That's just me. But I mean, if you really want to go see the movie, I'd say go ahead and check it out. See if decide for yourself if you like it or not. And if you have no intentions of seeing it and you're looking for some way to change your mind, like if you're looking for something to sway you to really reconsider, I'd say if you decide that you don't want to see it, then by all means, don't see it. I mean, go see Avengers Infinity War and go see Deadpool 2. I mean, yeah. So if you guys enjoyed my review for this movie, make sure you thumb up the video and click subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.